Indian equity markets just delivered one of their strongest signals this quarter, extending a remarkable winning streak into early July. Both the Nifty and Sensex closed significantly higher on 3 July 2026, marking a fourth consecutive week of gains. This broad-based rally happened even as global Fed rate fears started to recede, which is a crucial development. It tells us that domestic strength is aligning with an improved global risk appetite. But that is only part of the story. This isn't just a general market uptick, it's a structural shift. The surge was prominently driven by key sectors like IT, realty, pharma, and cement stocks. We are seeing a broad-based rally with IT and metal stocks initially leading the charge, later joined by real estate and healthcare. The Nifty itself pushed past 24,270, with the Sensex climbing over 260 points. This widespread participation is key to its sustainability. Here's where things become interesting for sophisticated investors. This sustained rally matters because historical data suggests July is a strong month for the Nifty 50, with a 72% success rate. This isn't merely short-term noise, it hints at deeper institutional conviction. It indicates a powerful momentum play where domestic demand and improving corporate earnings visibility are taking center stage, attracting consistent capital flows. Portfolio managers are watching this closely. So, who benefits from this powerful move? Clearly, companies with strong domestic exposure and robust project pipelines. Infrastructure and capital goods names like Larsen and Toubro are firmly on the radar, given their nuclear power exposure. We are also seeing Reliance Industries continue to expand its market value, now equaling India's top 5 IT companies combined. Yes Bank showed impressive business updates, with advances rising 18% and deposits up 14%. Plus, sectors like FMCG and healthcare are projected for a strong performance in FY27. On the flip side, who faces potential risks in this dynamic environment? Regulatory scrutiny remains a critical factor. The NSE recently cracked down on alleged dabba trading and issued investor advisories, signaling an increased focus on market integrity. Separately, entities like a Bank of Baroda subsidiary faced penalties, and Curis Life Sciences was fined for compliance delays. These actions underscore the importance of governance and compliance, which can be a risk for less diligent players. Furthermore, high-priced stocks that have already rallied significantly could be vulnerable to profit-taking. The supporting evidence for India's structural momentum extends beyond daily headlines. The mutual fund industry is on a massive roadmap to reach 10 crore investors and 150 lakh rupees crore AUM by 2030. This signals a deep embedding of the investing culture. The capital cycle approach also provides a powerful framework for long-term investing, especially in a market showing consistent growth. We are also seeing strong appetite for primary markets, with SBI Funds Management looking for a 2,000 crore rupees pre-IPO round and new public offers like Kusumgar on the radar. This sustained activity points to confidence in future growth. That's not the only signal. While India's domestic narrative is strong, we can't ignore global countercurrents. Lingering inflation concerns and geopolitical risks still remain key market drivers, even as Bitcoin trades near $62,000. Despite cooling Fed hike bets, the overarching global liquidity environment always demands attention. Furthermore, the volatility in crude oil prices, even as the rupee strengthened, presents a continuous balancing act for India's import-dependent economy. This intersection of local strength and global uncertainty creates nuanced risks. Now look at what happened globally. This shift isn't isolated to India. European stocks hit record highs, booking their fourth straight week of gains, and the rally is broadening. Australian shares logged their best week in 3, and Japan's Nikkei also rose, spurred by Fed bets and domestic growth signs. This broader global market rise, with a bounce in beaten-down tech names, suggests that the market is pricing in a more supportive macro environment. The sentiment is clearly risk-on, moving beyond the initial tech wobbles seen earlier. The next signal comes from rates, FX, and liquidity. Gold is set for its first weekly rise in a month as investors scale back Fed rate hike bets. This is a significant repricing of risk and yield. Simultaneously, the rupee managed to end its losing run, whiffing on FPI flows into stocks despite higher crude oil prices. This implies a selective strengthening of emerging market currencies where the domestic story is compelling. However, mortgage and refinance interest rates are mostly higher, indicating that monetary conditions aren't uniformly easing across all segments. That leads us to a bigger question: what's happening in commodity markets? Beyond gold, we are seeing structural shifts. SQM and Codelco are mapping a path to higher lithium output in Chile, critical for the EV supply chain. Aluminium is also emerging as manufacturers' preferred alternative to copper, indicating potential capital rotation within industrial metals. On the energy front, Russia is hiking June subsidies to refiners as fuel shortages bite, while energy-hungry Asia is drawing lessons from the Iran crisis. These are long-term shifts influencing input costs and strategic resource allocation. Another development investors should watch is the capital flow story. On Bond Street, falling yields spurred a significant 17,000 crore rupees fundraise, indicating a robust appetite for fixed income. In the private credit space, Inspira sealed an 1,800 crore rupees deal for a Burger King acquisition in India, highlighting the growing alternative financing ecosystem. The EU also agreed to cut ESG reporting requirements for asset managers, potentially simplifying compliance and influencing where capital gets deployed. This combination suggests a nuanced but active capital deployment environment, both public and private. Given this backdrop, several names are on breakout watch. Vedant, despite its cyclical nature, is among stocks with a low price-to-earnings ratio and could see valuation reassessment as global demand recovers. Redington also shows upside potential, with analysts eyeing up to 27%. For a more defensive play, the Axis Nifty AI Bond Plus SDL April 2026 ETF demonstrates structural momentum in debt, offering stability as part of a balanced portfolio. Look for increasing institutional participation and improving relative strength as key indicators here. Conversely, some segments warrant trim consideration. The market has seen 10 high-priced stocks rally up to 85% in the current year, which could signal extended valuations. While impressive, such rapid gains often lead to growth expectations becoming excessive. For example, Pesalo Digital's earnings warrant attention, but after significant outperformance, one might consider if extensions have become stretched. It's crucial to reassess these positions, especially if yield pressure intensifies or sentiment shifts, to lock in gains and reallocate capital into emerging opportunities. Looking ahead, the market setup is increasingly complex but favors selective opportunities. The global easing of Fed fears provides a significant policy tailwind, allowing capital to seek growth outside developed markets. India's structural momentum, driven by domestic consumption, infrastructure spending, and financialization, positions it uniquely. However, the AI trade is losing some of its key signals, suggesting a shift in tech focus. Investors should brace for continued capital rotation and a nuanced risk repricing environment where company-specific earnings visibility will be paramount, alongside macroeconomic shifts. Stay agile, stay informed. To stay ahead of these structural capital rotations and navigate the evolving market landscape, make sure to subscribe to SMANI News. We'll continue to deliver institutional-grade analysis designed to keep you informed and strategic in your investment decisions. We'll see you in the next breakdown.